Hello, everyone, to another episode of the Pi Project, where we show stories of resilience of ordinary people living extraordinary lives. One such story is that of Dr. Archana Gupta, who started her life as a dentist and is now a practicing coach. I'm very, very happy, Archana, to welcome you to this episode. And I'm going to have you walk with you to explore your journey of where you started, where you are now, and what has been your extraordinary story that you'd like to share with anyone who at some point will draw some courage from these stories.
Thanks a lot, Priya, for inviting me on this project. It is a pleasure to me, a treasure to me, I would say, that we invited on this project with you. It's like a dream come true for me. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. And that is so you, Archana, to be always grateful and, inclusive of everybody. As you know, the PI project stands for the power inherent in each one of us. And that's what we really would like to highlight in the next few minutes that we're having a conversation with. So to get there, Archana, I would love to hear from you. What might be the best way to describe you today?
So, the first word, when somebody asks me this question, the first word which comes to my mind is always authenticity. Being a very authentic self of mine with my own self and with others is what resonates with me a lot. Since childhood, also, I was being like that. But somehow, as the life goes on, I realized that authenticity was kind of depleting, and I have to be the way the world wants me to see. It was like I'm not being my true self. Now, being in this coaching journey, I realized that there is a certain way how I can be authentic. I re realized this power inside me of being authentic in a very new way in this coaching journey of mine. For that, I'm very much thankful where I rediscovered my authenticity. So, one is that. And second, very much in a funny way, I would like to say that since childhood, I was a too much of a Bollywood buff. I resonate a lot with the stories and the inspirational dialogues in them. There are certain ways through which I connect with the movies. And my favorite dialogue, which I would like to say it right now while starting this, is मैं अपनी favorite हूँ from the movie Jab We Met by Kareena Kapoor.
Right. So that essentially translates to I'm my own favorite.
Yes.
Right. What a lovely place to start. So, authenticity and the fact that you would like to put yourself first, not from a space of kindness, compassion to self, allowing you to grow. And then it has the ripple effect of people around you growing along with you. I'm sensing that's the essence of this I'm my favorite
Yes.
person.
Yes. So I also do post some small videos on my LinkedIn. My latest video, which I posted, is that self love is not selfishness.
Mm.
Loving your own self and then distributing that love to others also. So that is the essence that you just mentioned right now.
And this is very critical, right? When you are in your life journey, at least initial part, you are influenced so much by social constructs, the way others want to see you, right? And you also mentioned somewhere you got distance from authenticity, which is core of who you are, precisely from that construct, right? Tell me some more about that piece where you had to go back to saying it's about me, but that's a journey in itself, right?
Yes. Yes.
So, do share a little bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. When I had to choose my career, the big decisions of life, or even the smallest decisions of, I have never taken by myself. I was youngest in the family. Parents were there, then two sisters were there, whose hands were always there above me. So I always feel protected that, okay, I don't have to do much. Everything is very sorted for me. So I experienced the life that way. And but slowly and slowly, I realized that it has not let me grow in how I make my own decisions. When the choice of career was there, I was not knowing that where should I go. Though through eliminations, I told I don't want to choose the science, I don't want to choose maths, I don't want to choose commerce. So what is left? It is arts. So let me do arts. So
Mm.
that was through elimination I did for myself. And because I was very much passionate about Bollywood and all dancing and learning different instruments, all those things were there in me. Then paintings. So all those artistic things were very profound inside me, though I have not explored them at
Mm.
that stage. But still, I found that through all elimination, yes, I can be a good artist, maybe. And I told my father was a surgeon. So he was passionate that I should take medicine. Yes, I was a bright student. I always stood first, second, third in the class. He said that no, you should go for medicine. And I thought that, okay, if parents are saying so, then it might be right only. They are always right for their children. So, little bit my inner voice was there, which was telling me something. But that time I didn't know how to listen to my inner voice. And I always felt that parents' voice is always the last voice. I generally stand first, second, third. But for the competitive examinations, what kind of mindset that I should have, somehow I knew that there is something missing in that. But still, I gave it a chance. I landed up into dentistry, not MBBS, but dentistry. Seeing my father practicing over a number of years, I had something in my mind that I would not like to practice. Yes, I am into this profession, but still, I would like to go into academics. And for that, if I will proceed through non clinical branches, then it will be a perfect choice for me to always remain into academics, being a professor, and I will be happy having a work life balance. As a lady, when after marriage, I will be able to pursue my profession also. And as a work life balance, I will be able to happily serve my family also. So that is the best profession, being a professor or a teacher for a lady, that I considered for myself. I did my double masters because after BDS, I was again through competitive examinations, I was not able to crack MDS at the first phase. So I first did MSc dental materials, then I did MDS oral pathology. Again, everything was non clinical branch. And finally, I completed my PhD also in oral cancer. So everything was related to the non clinical side and the academic background, so that my place in the academics is sorted. Now, while I was completing my PhD, yes, it was a long journey of 17 years where I reached till the PhD stage and I was about to finish my PhD. At that stage of time, in meantime, I was married also, I had a kid also. In both my personal and professional life, there were some ups and downs. I was diagnosed with mild to moderate depression. I took everything, starting from the allopathic medicines, Ayurvedic medicines, homeopathic medicines, everything I tried. But the situation was relapsing again and again. And one fine day, I decided that I will not lead my life on medicines. That time, my husband, he works in a corporate office. In his office, this coaching culture was introduced, leaders as coaches. And he introduced me to that if you're trying everything, then also please think about these coaching sessions for yourself. That time I didn't know what is coaching. I just went along with whatever he told me. I thought of, okay, let's go with it. And I took just 4 friendly sessions. Just with 4 friendly sessions, that empowerment started coming to me, that how it looks like to take your own decisions, which till now I have not taken. That was the inflection point where, after completing so many years of my education, 17 years, reaching that PhD, I was again in the dilemma that whether I'm in the right place or not. Before that, while I was working as professor, I would like to mention there that I was being a mentor to BDS first year students also. And I generally ask my students, what made you choose dentistry? There was one girl in whom I always see myself. And she replied to me, my parents chose for me. And I asked her, what would you like to do? She said, whatever my parents have chosen me will be the best for me. And I thought, that after 20 years, these students are still there where I was 20 years back. What has changed? Nothing. If still these students also believe that whatever their parents decide for them is best, why can't we decide for ourselves? What is stopping us to decide with that conviction that this is best for me? So that also was a trigger point for me, that how can that confidence be developed in our own selves so that we take our decisions with that conviction that yes, this is the right decision for me. That point of time, yes, I chose something on elimination basis that arts may be best for me, but I was not having that conviction. How can that conviction come into picture, that we take the responsibility of our own decisions?
It's amazing. While we spoke about how social constructs and parents mean well, they come from their space of experience. They want the best for the child, but very often, I think the conditioning is such that our own voice is not given space, considered even. Sometimes you have to even debate it out, talk about it to get clarity. So, in spite of taking dentistry, which was pretty much against what you truly wanted, what was that inner strength that helped you complete and all the way to PhD? It's no small short
Mm.
journey there, right? What was that power that you dipped into yourself?
So actually, in this coaching journey only, I realized that power inside me.
Mm,
Maybe again, it is the conditioning through my childhood. My father always used to say, complete this, then take rest. Complete
mm,
this, then take rest. Then,
mm,
after completing this, then enjoy your life. After completing this, then enjoy your life. So that was so much conditioned in me that let's complete this whole journey and then you will be settled.
mm.
And it was like that if I have to be in academics, so the complete journey is till PhD.
I see.
Okay,
Mhm.
so till that time, there is no rest. Only afterwards, there is a rest. So that was the conditioning inside my mind. But after completing the PhD, I left it. So that time, and now through the coaching journey, I'm realizing in my whole journey of completing till PhD, was I enjoying the life? Was I enjoying the process? So today, I believe that enjoying the process is much more than just the destination.
Mm. So some of these conditionings are so strong, right, Archana, that complete and then rest. So it's always about the destination. Complete, reach there and then rest. Visav is really
Hmm.
looking at how is this journey, how can I look at it as a journey and enjoy the process? And when the destination arrives, it's a different experience. So what I'm hearing from you, Archana, is also a great conviction in yourself to complete it despite it being difficult, despite you knowing somewhere that this is not where you really want to go. You didn't allow any of that to detract you. So there's a lot of power in that courage to stick through, even though it was not your calling, so to say.
Or we can also say that inside that, whatever my father's wish was, inside that also, I somehow found my own wish, that
Hmm.
inside that wish, how my wish be incorporated. So, how that middle path can be incorporated, that if I wanted to be a professor, so through this route also, how can I be that professor?
Absolutely. And I think that's a wonderful aspect to it, right? Sometimes it's not about getting it exactly like you get it. So within that space, how can I still operate from a place of authenticity and empowerment, which is to take your call that you want to go academic
Yes.
and not a practitioner, right? Amazing. So you would say that coaching journey was probably your biggest inflection point in your life, right? So where are you today now with that journey?
Hmm.
Part two of Archana,
Yes.
Archana 2.0.
So, yes, it was not an easy decision for me,
Mm,
because completing those 17 years and letting it go like sand is being thrown away from my hand, and even I am the one who is throwing that sand. Nobody is letting me to throw that. I'm the only who is letting it go after completing everything. So it was not easy for me. I remember while I was getting trained in my ACC journey, there was a demo coaching session within the whole group that was going on. And the trainer was coaching me. At one point of time, I told that I'm sitting in a very dark room and I don't want to just get up. And she asked me, but wherever you are, there is always a small piece of light which is always entering in the room. And I told her that I don't want to see the light. I'm very much tired now. I just don't want to see. I just want to sit here. I don't want to do anything now. From that point to here, I have reached now, where I have completed my professionally certified certification of a coach. I would like to say that if I can do it from that point till here, anybody can do it. Only thing is how we would like to tap that inherent power in us. So, how I helped myself in all those things were where I realized that it is all about the emotions. And I always felt overwhelming emotions. As I said, that I am a major Bollywood buff. So, whenever there are so many emotional movies going on, I like to watch them alone. I like to soak myself in all those emotions. If it is sad, I would like to cry. Yes, a lot means whatever it is coming to me, I would like to soak in that. And if somebody is asking me that why are you crying, it takes away the whole essence from me. I get so much immersed into that. So I used to feel those emotions a lot, and I felt that there is some power in these emotions which needs to be tapped. And I realized that most of the power in these emotions is in these what we so called as negative emotions. However, now I realize there are no positive or negative emotions. These are just emotions. But the biggest amount of energy is more in these emotions which let you down. Now, if we try to tap that energy into more productive way, how can we go ahead? Because as Einstein says, energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. So if these emotional energies are tapped into, how can these be converted into productivity? Yes, I was feeling those emotions when I left everything. I wanted to start something new for myself. And whatever emotions I was feeling, I tried to convert them into those productive states for me. Like I would say that the first thing which I converted was while I was just sitting at home, and one day I was so frustrated that clients will not come to me. I only have to go somewhere to meet them. At that point of time, I was feeling so much of frustration that I really just stepped out of my home and reached one college because I was working in the college. So I knew that setup only. I went to one college, and there one security guy was sitting. I just asked him that this is my poster. So I had my poster with me. This is my poster. I would like to put up on some wall of the college so that students who feel some kind of these sessions are required for them, they may contact me. So that security guy just out of curiosity asked me that, what do you do? Firstly, I thought that how will he understand? But then I thought, no, if he's asking, he should know this. I explained it to him. And he told me, ma'am, you go there. There is a school there. You go there. I said, but I just have to put this poster. Just let me allow to put this poster. I will go. He persuaded me. Ki, ma'am, I'm asking you to please go in that school. I feel that you will be better placed there. That school was an inclusive school. Firstly, I felt hesitated that I can't do this. But then I thought, ki, let's explore. Let's go inside. I went there. I met the receptionist. And as I was explaining to the receptionist that who am I, the founder of the school was listening in another room, and she just came out of the room and she shook hand with me and told me, you please come in and sit with me and explain whatever you do. I explained it to her, how whatever things I do, mostly on emotional intelligence, that was the niche which I was tapping into at that point of time. And I approached her for one-on-one sessions. And she offered me a workshop for her faculty. And I just came back from there and I called Anshuman that I don't know what have I done. There is nothing with me. And he said, you don't realize you have just gone through your first business pitch and you have got it. So that was my first negative energy of frustration, which I tapped into. And I just stepped out of my home. I landed into a college and I finally landed into a school where my business pitch was accepted and I was being offered a project. So that point of time, I felt that that security guard was my Krishna, who guided me to that school. You won't believe that lady, that founder of that school. I would like to mention the name here, Ankur Vidya Mandir. She actually engaged me for 1 full year.
Wow.
With her staff members, with the parents of the students of that school. I'm really very thankful to that lady till now. That was my first project.
And that first project is always very dear to us, right? Because it sort of kickstarts and opens a whole big avenue. What is interesting in all that you're sharing, Archana, is also the fact that, and this topic of emotional intelligence is very close to my heart as well, right? Where it has a power, it has energy. All emotions have energy. But if it propels you to take action in a way that is useful, then you also see the power of that energy bear fruits for you. Right? You did mention that you went through some sort of mental wellness challenge at some point, right? And all that you shared there was also about not acknowledging the emotion that you're experiencing fully, right? Because oftentimes you have people saying, no, don't feel that way. But if that's what you're feeling, and if you're fully able to experience and express it, perhaps you are able to move to the next space. So, what advice or what would you suggest to people who are going through, depression and dealing with very difficult emotions? What would be your message to all of them?
The only message which I have learned with experience is that avoidance or snubbing them is not the choice. Allowing yourself to feel it. If it has come, it has some purpose. Sit with it. Like you want to sit with your happy emotions, sit with these emotions too. They have something to tell you. Listen to them. What are they saying to you? And there are some things, when they come, some of your needs, they get emerged. And now, whether you are ready to fulfill those needs or not, my mentor Ujjwal, he always tells, emotions are the messengers of your needs.
Absolutely.
So maybe it is written in some book also. I don't remember that. So what are the needs these emotions are telling you for you? Just recognize that, and what actions you would like to take to fulfill some of those needs for yourself. Maybe at that point of time when I was feeling frustrated, my emotions were telling me that you can't sit at home like this. Just go out and expose yourself to the world. And you won't believe, Priya, that I also consider myself as a very introvert kind of a person. And today, I feel a lot of energy in talking to everybody.
It's really converting what you thought was a disadvantage to your advantage,
Yes.
right? So the call out is not for everybody to move from introversion to extroversion, but it's really to say, if you choose, you can be who you want to be.
Yes. Yes. It is not about who you are, it is about who you want to be.
Of course, it takes courage to get to that space. Um, and as you move in that journey, I think what is not you starts falling apart,
Yes.
right? Or falling away. And you more and more touch the core of who you are and who you want to become. I always found that the power that we have, typically the challenges that we face, help us to recognize it.
Yes.
Right? What are your thoughts on that?
Regarding the challenges.
Yeah. So is it a challenge that brings out your inner power,
Mm.
or does one always live with this inner power?
Hmm. So recently, I actually heard one Saurav Ganguly's interview on that. He also mentioned that yes, the power always lies within you, but
Hmm.
these challenges, they take the best out of you. They
Hmm.
actually make you understand that how you can convert this potential into the performance. Yes, I can do this also. I
Hmm.
can do this also.
Hmm. Somehow it isn't also about whether I'm successful in it or not.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
just the act of doing, right?
Yes.
The fact that you just walked up to that security guard, you went up to that college,
Yes.
um, that was all you wanted,
Yes.
right? So the act doing, so the idea was not to get that project in the school.
Yes.
Universe has its way of playing out the cards, right?
Yes. So when you are mentioning that universe has its way of playing the cards, I also have this feeling that uh, whenever you start helping yourself, only then God will start help you. So he was just waiting for me that when I will step out of that house, and then everything was there for me.
Mm,
So till
mm,
the time I will not step out from the house, how will I come to know that yes, something is there waiting for me?
yeah, yeah.
And I have realized it in so many experiences that first I have to help myself, and then universe comes there to help.
Mm, mm. So much like a hero's journey, right? Um, Sometimes just to step across that threshold, the first threshold is for you to do. And then you'll find people supporting. I mean, you never know where it
Yes,
goes. And in the process, you also fight all your
yes,
demons and what you don't want to find the treasure.
yes. And also, we sometimes look for a support from some specific people.
Hmm.
At this point of time, I was looking support that my husband will take me somewhere to have that project.
Hmm.
But in that at that point of time, if we realize that it is not about asking for that support from that specific person, it
Hmm.
is about allowing yourself to embrace the support from wherever you are getting it.
And there's a certain opening of
Yeah.
self for that support to come in, right? Now, if we are saying this support, this kind of support from this kind of person, you're actually limiting yourself.
Yes.
If you can just open yourself up and you see support comes from anywhere in surprising quarters.
Yes. Yes.
Right. I mean, that security guard is a classic example.
Yes.
Security guard is there to stop people from entering and only letting the right kind of people in. Huh?
Yes.
Look at that role he has played in your life. Amazing. I know we spoke about it, but if you were to just put this all together, Archana, and offer something to anyone who's listening, when they go through a hard time, or when they find that I don't know which way to go, how do they dip into their inherent power which exists in each one of us. What would you like to say as a message to all of them?
Again, we all have two voices in ourselves. That is why we all have two paths. We can go here also, we can go there also. So that voice, what we call as one is voice of purpose. Sometimes it is very mild. We are not able to hear it. And the best way, again, my mentor told me recently, the best way to hear it or to feel it is if even that subtle voice or mild voice is letting you expand, it is your voice of purpose. And if the other voice is letting you little bit of shrinkage, you feel that is not your voice of purpose. One is that thing. And second thing, again, one movie dialogue is again coming to me from a very classic, iconic movie, Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge. That my mother always told me that there will always be two paths in front of you. One is very easy and one is the hard way. The easiest path will always call you, come to me, come to me. I'm the easiest path. But if you try to choose the hard path, in the long run, you will find that you have overcome all the challenges and now maybe you are happily living ever after. So I have chosen that hard path for myself, that I will not let Simran away like this. I will let the Simran be with me with all the blessings. So these are the two paths. Maybe we can complement them with that, again, voice of fear and voice of purpose. So there are different analogies with which we can comprehend that what these two paths are for us, because they will be unique for every individual.
Right. It's very powerful what you say is that, you know, the voice of purpose, we are all very intuitive beings, but very often we don't listen to our intuition because we're not quite enough to hear it. Or when we hear it, we don't act upon it because we don't trust ourselves. We don't have the conviction to take that action based on our intuition. So I'm also hearing you say, you know, going back to where we started about authenticity, one of the things around authenticity is also congruence of within you, what you want, what you aspire, what's your inner voice saying. When you operate from that space, and I call that a very intuitive, quiet space, I think you're able to really unleash this inherent power within you. And that's the call out for anyone who's listening in. You have it in you. It takes different forms and shapes. It's important for us to listen to that. And the invitation to anyone who's listening to this conversation is to say, find that quiet place, discover the power that's inherent in you because you have it, and enjoy the journey of becoming who you are becoming. Right. A big thanks to you, Archana, for joining me on this conversation. This project is very dear to me because the hope is that people listening can find some courage, some they can dip into some inherent power which is within them. And thank you for joining me in making that happen.
Thanks a lot, Priya, for again inviting me and letting me share my stories